NXT Revenge. I'm going to tell you right now, I did not like this show. Not because of the matches. No. It was guys, if you look at how the structure of this card was, it didn't make any sense. We got 5 matches. Fine. But it felt like these matches didn't feel like they were in the right places. Like there was one match that should never been on the card, or 2. And then it feels like they were trying to squeeze a huge amount of stuff in one show so they can have more what they want in the other show. Because it's a 2-week thing. Revenge is for 2 weeks. This week 1, and it feels like they tried to cram everything they felt they needed to cram in here, and it was out of place. I wasn't feeling the booking. Maybe that's the right title for this, because I'm not sure what title to call this. Because the first thought I was, why? Why like this? Then as I saw the card being developed, I'm going like, what was the point of this card? You want to make Revenge feel important for both nights, but then you're putting people on these shows you should not be putting on. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. Let's open. Miss Parker versus Miss Jordan. Miss Jada Parker, Miss Kiana Jordan. Let's make this clear. We know they're in a feud. Fine. But did they need to be the opening of the show? No. I'm sorry. They didn't even needed to be on this show. At least not wrestling. They could have been fighting in the back. They could have talked. Fine. Either way. Either fighting one another, talking. That would have made it more interesting for the week after Revenge Night 2. That would have been better. Because then you could devote more time to them. It felt like they just had to get it over with. And I don't agree with it. I don't. Kiana Jordan won the match, and it was not a bad match. I always say Miss Parker, she's a good wrestler along with Kiana Jordan. She's also a good wrestler. But I feel like it wasn't necessary for them to be on the damn card. They didn't need to open the show, and they didn't need to even be in a wrestling ring. They need to either be in the back talking or need to be in the back fighting. And that makes no sense why this is here. And it took up time. Time they could have devoted to something or someone else. Next match. The debuting Miss Armstrong. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Did she look, well, Skylar Ray from LFG. Fine. She was okay. Seeing that Kara, I think her name's Kara. Kara Armstrong feels exactly like one person that has been on the roster that we haven't seen in a while. And that's Tyra Steels. She's no different than Tyra Steels. I don't care what anyone says that Tyra Steels is the best. Tyra Steels is incredible. Tyra Steels is the future. She never felt like anything. She felt blank. I don't care if she's injured. I don't care if she's still training in the back. I don't care. She felt completely blank with no personality. She has skills in the ring, but in this day and age of 2026, where everyone does the same thing as you need to be something different. Not just more aggressive in the ring or more refined in the ring. You need to have personality, not just in the ring, but outside the ring. And she had nothing when she was with Tavion Heights. Nothing. Now, mind you, it's only been a few months that she was on the roster. But since then, where is she? Bye-bye, in the back. Or injured. I don't know which one it is. Either she's injured or she's in the back, in the Performance Center. Personally, I don't care. You look at Armstrong. She's not much different. Seeing that her finishing move is to do what she normally did at track. And that was to run as fast as she could back and forth and then plow through Skylar Ray. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not a fan of Skylar Ray either. There's nothing yet for her. I haven't seen anything from her. This is like one of the few times they've actually shown it when she was working with Shiloh Hill. But other than this, neither one of them have anything. I'm not excited for either one of them. They did a good match, but that does not mean I'm interested in them. Seeing that she going like this don't mean a damn thing. Miss Jada Parker had to win people over, doing that over and over again, and proving that she had personality. When she was in the ring, when she was talking in the ring, and when she was talking smack in the ring, in the match. She had to earn it. It wasn't that she was just some damn track star. Or in her case, I believe she was a soccer player. She had to earn it for the years she's been there. She had to go through all that, got injured, come back, and convince people she was the shit. And she did, and she's earned it, even though she did not win her match. Next match, which angered me. I'm going through this fast. There's no point in going slow. The World Heavyweight Championship. What? There are 5 matches on this card. 5 for Revenge Night 1. And the third match of the show has Tony D'Angelo and Ethan Page. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't agree with this match. I don't agree with it. I do not agree in the position in this card. It is in the middle of the card. This is what AEW did. Remember, when, and I know not many people want to hear this, but when a Hangman Page won the damn title, what happened to him? He didn't open the show or close the show. He was second on the card, defending against a nobody. And you got Ethan Page, who has been very well built. You got Tony D'Angelo, who's been very well built. And they're in the middle of the card, right before the Speed Tournament match. What the fuck? And I can't use that as my title, what the fuck. I'm not doing it. It's not about the match quality. It wasn't. They both are good wrestlers. We had Shallow Hill messing around with, and I got something to think about when it comes to him and Ricky Saints. But he grabs Ricky, hog ties him, pulls him under the ring, pulls him out of the ring, and then drags him away. So Tony D could have a fair shot at keeping his title, which made no sense. And I'll explain that in a minute. But Tony D wins. Then we get the Speed Tournament. PJ Profit. No, not Profit. I don't remember his name. Profer or something. Versus Van Dukes. Don't know them. And at this point, until I see more of them, don't really care yet. I can't say they're bad wrestlers. They did a Speed Tournament match, and PK won. I believe his name is PK. But the point here is, why is the Speed Tournament here on Revenge, where this should be special? You just named this show NXT Revenge. Why are they here? Why? There's no story behind them other than the Speed Tournament. Final match, which I don't get. Lola Vice versus JC James. The last match of the night. It was a good match. Lola Vice retained her title even though she had gotten her ass punched multiple times. That back fist knocked JC James out of her boots. Good. Then we get, out of nowhere, Miss Armstrong coming up, destroying Fatal Influence because she plowed right through them, even though it was Fallon Henley who shoved JC James away because she was still stunned. Then you get Kendall Gray, and I'll talk about her in a minute. Then you get Izzy Dane, who still doesn't feel important because she got her ass whooped by Tatum Paxley. And I'll talk about Tatum in a little bit. This was the card, guys. You could have put Lola Vice and JC James opening the show. And you could have put Tony D and Ethan Page closing the show. You could have gotten rid of the Speed Tournament. And you could have gotten rid of... Let's say this. If you really wanted to introduce 3 new people, which was Dukes, PK, and Armstrong, you could have gotten rid of Keanu Jordan And you could have gotten rid of Miss Parker. And you could have made sure they were in between each one of them. Opening was Lola Vice and JC James. No problem. Then you could have still had Armstrong and Skylar. Then you could have done the speed tournament. Last, you could have easily done Tony D and Ethan Page. Give the women plenty of time in the beginning of the show. Give the guys at the end of the show plenty of time. Enough time they can do what they are, and everything else would be segments in the back. That would have been more effective than this. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now, let's start with Shallow Hill. What is going on with Shallow Hill? He's helping Tony D'Angelo retain his title. Why? Why? Tony D will knock his teeth down his throat. He has no interest in being friends with Shallow Hill. But supposedly, because Shallow Hill overheard what was going to happen with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, he decided to take it upon himself to grab him and tow him away. This makes me think that they had no idea what to do with they have no idea what to do with Ricky. So they stuck him with Shallow Hill because they don't know what to do with either one of them, so they stuck them to have a feud. Since Shallow Hill is a nutcase, they decided to do it that way. Now, was it funny? Yes, but does it make sense? No, because you should be doing something one of the most prominent people you have in a Ricky Saints. Now, let's move on to the... I'm like, okay, why? Why did you have Let me get this straight. The Joe Henry segment of his concert being stopped by Keanu Carver because Keanu Carver was angry and he don't want anyone to have the spotlight when, if you guys remember, isn't he still in the feud with two other guys? Jasper Troy and Josh Briggs. Isn't he still having a feud with them because they haven't decided who is the biggest and best big man yet? And all of a sudden now, he's not messing with Jasper Troy. And he's not messing with Josh Briggs. They had all one match. And then it's over? Is three big men supposed to just give up after just one match with all three of them together? When you could build all three of them? You can use Josh Briggs to get Jasper and Carver over by them still fighting one another. That one faces another, and all of them again will face each other. They could destroy people and try to prove that I'm the better big man than you. Oh, I destroyed this many people. I'm the bigger, better man than you. None of it. They just got rid of the match. I'm sorry. If you're trying to get Carver over going up against Joe Henry, that feels like a waste of time because that's a waste of Joe Henry. Look, Joe's here. He's gone down a little bit. He used to be here. He's here now. And Carver's here. To get Carver up to here, that means Joe has to go down to here a little bit and then bring up Carver. But does that mean they really have investment in Carver? Or they just don't have anything for Joe Henry to do? Because that's what it feels like. Kind of like what's going on with Ricky Saints. When they got him with Shallow Hill, they have no idea what to do with Joe Henry either. So they stuck him with someone really new to try and give them some more experience and give them something to do. But that kind of brings down both Ricky Saints and Joe Henry. And I don't agree with that. One of them, fine. But both? What the fuck? Next, let's talk about Kendall Gray. I need to say this. That vid pack she did, was it good? Yes. This is the first time I actually heard Kendall Gray that without a Ren Sinclair by her side to help cover for her when she doesn't talk. Honestly, she talked all right. But do I care about Kendall Gray? No. Is she a good wrestler? Yes. I want to make that clear. I want to make this very clear. Is she a good wrestler? Yes. But so is Tyra Steele. So is Miss Armstrong. All of them have good attributes as good wrestlers. One's a power wrestler. Kendall Gray is a more methodical ground and pound wrestler. And when you look at maybe Tasha Steele, not Tyra Steele's, not Tasha, Tyra Steele's, she feels like she could be a little bit of both. So that's what you got with these three women. But do you care about them other than going in the ring? Me, no. Not until they can show character development. Not until, not just them being able to talk, but to be able to hold a character. To be able to use psychology in the ring. Because you can be a great wrestler, but if you have no psychology, it means nothing. You'll end up like most people went from ROH to WWE. They had to be retrained to understand you need to show personality. You need to be able to talk. You need to be able to react in a certain way. And many of them don't get it all the time. Many of them just blank out. Or then they get angry because, why do I need to do something like that? So they got a lot of work to do. So all three of those women, I'm not feeling anything from. But I will say Kendall Gray did a good vid pack for herself. Then the two vid packs from Zarya and Soruka. Good. It covers the original story they both had. Now I'm going to tell you this. I still love Soruka. That's my girl. I still love her. And I never hated Zarya. She's good. But if you go by the stories of Zarya and Soruka, who do you think has been screwed over worse? Has it been Zarya or has it been Soruka? To be honest, if you look at how the story is, as obsessive as Zarya was, she's the innocent one in this story because every single time Soruka had actually done what she said. Now, has Zarya gone too far over the deep end because she feels like she's been wronged? Hell yes, she has. But she is the one that's been wronged. And now it's a last woman standing match for next week. And I'm not against that. At least it's supposed to be, I think it's next week. But it makes sense for them to have this. They have to end it in a certain way. Now, what did we get? Let me see, am I forgetting anything? Zarya, Soruka, Carver, I talked about that. Keanu, I gotta say this about Keanu Carver, taking that guitar to the back and then Joe Henry slicing his head. That looked good. I won't say it wasn't good. But I don't understand why the three guys are still not facing each other. Final thing I'm going to talk about is this. When you look at this card, it doesn't feel like it was organized correctly. Like someone at the last minute changed everything because it didn't feel correct. There was no reason for Miss Parker and it made no sense for both of them to open the show. You could have put Lola Vice and JC James in the beginning of the show, make the men in between, so it would be about the men. Because as it stands now, you got 3 women's match. You got majority of the segments and the matches were for the women. I'm not against it. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. But you got to do it in a way that also covers for the men too. Because yes, Dark State was given this moment with Miles Bourne, but it's like it was rushed. And yes, Suge is having a problem right now. Suge is sick and tired of seeing that Leon is acting the way he is. He's making it very clear, it's always about you. We're trying to cover for you. We're trying to get you one. And he's saying, look, we need gold. One of us got to do it. And look, if you had attacked him because the segment was, and Miles made it very clear to Lennox, you want it, you got it, but if your boys fight me, you ain't getting it. And Suge said that it don't work that way. There's no leader here because Bourne said, since you're the leader, and Suge said there is no leader, they're finally coming to the point where Dark State is going to have to make a decision of either Lennox being removed, Suge being removed, or they just disband. One of the two is going because one of them wants to be the leader and the other one wants to still keep it amongst 4 people. It's coming. But it feels like it's rushed. It feels like they're trying to just get this done before WrestleMania. And then afterward. That's what it feels like. But this is just me. And I'm going to say that the show wasn't bad, but the card itself is so badly organized. I don't know why they did it this way. I don't. I know there's going to be 2 matches next week where it's going to be a last woman standings match, and we're going to get a casket match from Tatum Paxley and Blake Monroe. You could have spread this out beyond WrestleMania, guys. You could have had next week the casket match, and week after that, guess what? Last woman standing. If you need to do it that way. I'm just saying. Peace.